Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are cutting through the Hollywood hype to look at the actual history of Japan's legendary samurai and ninja. Trust me, the reality, it's way more fascinating than anything you've seen in the movies.
So do you really know the historical difference between a samurai and a ninja? I mean, pop culture paints this picture of magical, gravity-defying assassins on one hand and these flawless, noble swordsmen on the other. But what's the actual grounded reality here? How did they originate? Who did they really work for? And why did they disappear?
Here is our roadmap for today. We're covering 6 key eras. 1. Birth of the Empire. 2. Rise of the Samurai. 3. Enter the Shadow Warriors. 4. Honor versus Stealth. 5. The Fall of the Warriors. And finally, 6. The Last Living Ninja. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Birth of the Empire, the Imperial Lineage.
To really get where these warriors fit in, we have to zoom out and look at the massive scale of Japanese history. Japan has an incredibly long monarchy. It stretches all the way from the mythical Emperor Jimmu, back in 660 BC, to the first historically verified ruler, Emperor Kinmei, in 539 AD. Fast forward a bit, and 1185 is this massive turning point. That's when Minamoto Yoritomo became the shogun, basically a supreme military dictator. And that military system ruled the roost until the Meiji Restoration in 1867.
To put that incredible timeline into perspective, there have been 126 emperors in a continuous lineage right up to Emperor Naruhito today. Now, historically, the emperor was often just a revered figurehead, kind of confined to the palace. The real, absolute power, that was actually held by the military, the shoguns, and their elite guards. Which brings us to Section 2, Rise of the Samurai, the Noble Guards.
So by the 10th century, wealthy nobles had snatched up these massive agricultural estates across Japan. But with the emperor totally distracted by palace politics, those lands were super vulnerable. Their solution? Hire elite guards. They called them bushi, which translates to honorable warriors, or as we know them, samurai. Now these weren't your average foot soldiers. We're talking about aristocratic, highly trained elites who eventually united under the supreme command of the shogun.
These guys were strictly bound by Bushido, an intense moral code of courage and extreme loyalty. And I mean extreme. If a samurai messed up badly, lost a battle, or shamed his lord, Bushido demanded a grueling suicide ritual called seppuku to restore his family's honor. It literally involved plunging a short blade into their own stomach, and then a designated second would step in with a long sword to finish the job quickly. Brutal? Absolutely, but it firmly established their unyielding dedication to honor.
Moving on to Section 3. Enter the Shadow Warriors, the Ninja.
Here's where the story gets incredibly layered. During the